On the undercard, Nate Robinson fought Jake Paul. What was Nate's mistake? And if you were advising him, if you were training Nate, how would you prepare him? Says, okay, if he wants a rematch, how would you prepare Nate to take that fight and to win?
First of all, it's not a fight that Nate should even take because Nate is about 5'9", 5'10", 181 pounds, basically soaking wet. Jake Paul was a pull down 189 pounds. I mean, he may have came from 210 to 189. You understand me? So one guy knows how to pull weight and how to play the weight game. The other guy has no clue of it. So you're already smaller than him. Then he's a pull down. It's like people say, they looked at me and Mike and say, oh, y'all about the same size. No, we're not. You see Mike's head? Mike is capable of toting way more weight than I ever could think about toting.
Right.
Mike can carry way more weight than I ever could dream of carrying. You feel me? Mike said he lost 100 pounds. That means he was 320 something. And he down to 220 something.
Right.
So he's a much bigger figure than I am. Same with with Jake Paul and Nate. Nate is way too small to be in a boxing ring with a pull down. Jake Paul, it just did. When I saw him at the weigh-in, I said, oh gosh. I told my wife, this is not going to be pretty. She said, why? I said, he's too small. It just ain't fair. He's too small. You don't know what he up against, but he's too small.
And plus, you have to look at it though. Also, RJ, is that 181? That's a bumped up 181. Nate probably should be walking around at probably 170.
That's my point. And he's fighting a guy that's pulled down 210 to 189. This is just you just took yourself out the game.
So in other words, besides fighting a man much too big for him, he didn't have the proper tools. See, explain to a layperson, Roy, explain the mistakes that Nate made inside the ring. Forget the fact that he shouldn't have been in there to begin with, but what were some of the mistakes that he made that caused him to get knocked?
One mistake is you don't get hit and get angry and take off running, arresting the guy just throwing punches because that guy's already set knowing that you're coming because you're angry and he's going to wait and time you, and that's kind of what happened. So he made a few boxing mistakes that because he's inexperienced in boxing that a normal boxer would make. If a guy hits you and hurts you, yeah, you take A cap, don't run back in, you move around for a little while, get your head back together, or you box smart and make him think you're okay when you know you're not, but you be smart and stay away from contact for a little while until you get all the way back together. Then you engage and get contact again. He engaged right away, and you can't do that.
See, for me, Nate treated this like a street fight. Like you said, he tried to rush in. And maybe in a street fight, he can beat Jake because you can scoop him. But in a boxing match, you can only throw these things here. And so now he's rushing in with his hands down. That's the first rule. Street fight, no matter the fight, keep your hands up. That's the last thing the referee tell you. Keep your hands up, protect yourself at all times.
Protect yourself at all times. Yep. Man. He didn't do that. He lost it. He kind of got emotional and just ran in there.
Teddy Atlas was upset at the California Boxing Commission, said they should not even sanction this fight. Do you think if they did sanction it, you think they should have had a headgear?
Well, no, that would not have made a difference. No, it wouldn't.
So you think Nate should just give this up? Let this boxing ain't his thing?
No, Nate don't have to give it up. What you got to do is you got to get in the gym and get some real training, first of all.
Okay.
Secondly, you got to start fighting in your weight class because that's why they have weight classes. You must get into your own weight class. You can't be fighting guys 10 to 20 pounds heavier than you, especially when they have also more experience than you. Can you imagine me fighting a guy that's 10 pounds lighter than me and don't have the experience to box? I mean, it's just wrong. So it's like you fought a guy that was not only really more than 10 pounds heavier. On the scale, he was 10 pounds heavier than you. On the scale, Mike was 10 pounds heavier than me. But if you look at it, I pushed my back to the corner like the coach told me to do. Mike picked me up like a feather, just set me down in the same corner. I'm like, whoa. You understand me? Because he's 10 pounds heavier than me on the scale, but he's used to carrying much more weight than I am.
Right.
So his 10 pounds is more like 30 pounds.
Right. I know you remember this. You remember Too Tall Jones, who the great defensive lineman for the Dallas Cowboys, thought he could, but this guy was 5'8", and this dude carried Too Tall Jones. And I tried to explain to people, I say the mistake some great athletes make is that they think because they're great in one sport, they can just pick up and do another sport. It's not that simple, Roy.
Not at all, brother. People don't understand. It's different muscle memory. It's different technique. It's different. Everything is different. I mean, we're all great athletes and we can do the other sport, but you can't compete at an elite level in every other sport like that.
Right.
Only 1 or 2 people could do that. You understand me? 1 or 2, and that's far and few in between. 1 or 2 people could really do that like that.
But here's the thing, Roy. You've been fighting. How old were you started when your dad gave you gloves and how old were you? 8, 9?
10.
You were 10 years of age. Okay, so from 10, you're building up those reflexes. You're building up those instincts. You know how to pivot. You know how to turn. You know how to block punches. You know how to make punches miss. You know how to walk guys into punches. What makes somebody think that in their mid-30s, they can just pick this up and say, oh, yeah, I can go do that? At a competitive level, I understand hitting the mitts in the gym.
Because they hang around people who don't understand the everyday reality of boxing. They hang around people who think all you got to do is get in shape and learn how to punch and you can fight. That's not true. There's a lot more that goes into boxing than most people realize. And the problem with it, Shannon, the problem with it, brother, is that there's a lot of people that actually box that don't understand boxing. So you know, there's people that don't have nothing to do with boxing that are going to get confused.
And see, the thing is, you watch somebody and they hitting the mitts and they throwing the mitts into your hands and they swear, oh boy, got hands. Oh boy, got hands like that. But see, you know who that's that Floyd Mayweather syndrome. They see Floyd and his uncle and his dad was on those mitts and he dunk it and he doing all that behind his back. And people like, oh yeah, I can do that. No, you can't.
And as easy as it looks.
You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button to become an official member of Club Shay Shay, where we always do something before 2 something.